Hi Benham, I'm over at the garden again, and we just finished our first lesson today about seeds, and we talked about peas and beans. So we planted a bean seed during that lesson, but now I need to get the peas planted directly into the beds at the garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be pushing the hay back that the hay mulch that we put on there earlier in the week, and I'm going to plant some rows of peas, and I'm going to set up some of the little TP bean poles that will allow the peas to grow up all around them throughout the spring. So I'm just going to let the film roll, and if there's anything interesting, I'll let you know what I'm doing. Now these little TP trellises, we set these up last year, which is why they're already kind of tied together. But what I still need to do, I'm going to just put them in the ground so I know where they're going to be. But I do need to come back and put some string around them that the peas can climb up. Make sure they push them pretty far into the ground so that way they're sturdy and they're not going to blow over in the wind or anything. Alright, I've got two TPs here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pole and put it across between the two, and then I can run some string coming down from that as well. Okay, so I've got my peas here in the packet, and so these guys need to be put in a, let's see, we have to put them about 1.5 inches apart in 3-inch bands. So we just want to make sure that when these things are being trellised, the row spacing is about 6 inches, and they have to be about 12 to 18 inches apart. So we're just going to basically put a couple peas at the base of each of these TPs, and then maybe a row in the front between them and in the back. And I think that that should be plenty. So we'll just make sure that when we have the string on here, that we have peas basically growing all the way around it. We're just going to do this one bed today, and then I'll come back again a little bit later. We'll put more peas in the corner bed, and then we're going to put some of the bush beans in the front as it gets a little bit warmer. The peas are cold weather vegetables, so they should do fine and germinate as it starts to get warmer in the next week or two. All right, so we had put this hay down, so I'm just going to go ahead and just start brushing it away to create kind of a 3-inch area all the way around my bean poles, and that's where I'm going to plant. Now the good thing about this hay is not only is it going to keep the weeds away, but it also is going to act as almost like a blanket for the soil, and it's going to make it warmer and allow our seeds to germinate that much faster. Hoping we don't get any more hard frost this season, but you never know. So I'm going to use this stick to make my holes, just because it's a little bit cold out right now, and don't want to get my hands too cold. So I'm just going to go around and just make some holes. I'm gonna space them about, I'm gonna say 3 inches apart. Now more peas are gonna grow than I'm gonna need. We're gonna have to thin these back a little bit once they start growing, but not every seed is likely to germinate. So I wanna make sure that the rule of plant more and then we can just pull out what we don't need. Okay, so I'll drop these seeds in there. The reason we're planting them directly into the bed instead of starting them at home is that peas don't really like to be transplanted. They have a very deep root system, and so it grows very quickly, and so it's really hard to catch them at the right time when you plant them as seedlings before they get too leggy and no longer healthy. So. My dog is with me today and he really wants to get at something over there. Come. This is Dusty, for those of you who haven't watched any of our previous videos. Dusty helps me with the social distancing because he doesn't really like people coming around him, so if anybody tries to get near us, he will bark like crazy and keep them away. can bring you closer so you can see what I'm actually doing in the ground as I plant the next row. So we're just going to, again, make an opening here in the hay. All right, push it back so we can see the ground here. And then we are just going to make our holes about 3 inches apart. Now I could just put the seed on top and then push it in with the stick, but I don't know, something satisfying about doing it this way. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and place the seeds into the holes. And then we'll just use the stick again to make sure that they're covered with about 1 inch of loose soil. I'm patting it down just a little bit as well. All right, so now I just have to do the other half. That's about half done. So I'm just going to speed up the video here. Alright, so that is it. We got all of the seeds in this bed. And now what I have to do is I have to just give them a little bit of water. We don't have a hose that's turned on here at the school yet, so I brought some water with me from home. And the soil's actually pretty moist already, just because it rained all week. So I'm just going to give it a little sprinkling just to help get these peas started. And then we're just going to leave it here, and I'm going to check back in, I'm just going to say a week, because it is pretty cold out. I'm going to guess that they're not going to germinate very quickly, but I will check back on occasion when I come to do some more work here at the garden. And then I'll take pictures as they start to grow to update you, and then I'm going to do another video when I do the trellis as well. But we'll probably hold off until the peas actually start growing a bit before we do that. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you again soon. Have a great week.